Carolina passed a number of voter ID laws that the community there does not agree with, okay? So they've gotten rid of same-day registration. They actually cut the number of days for early voting from 17 days to 10 days. And of course, you also need a voter ID when you go to the polls. And so a number of activists that are part of something known as Moral Mondays got together to kind of protest these new laws that they disagreed with. While this protest was going on, a former state Senate candidate by the name of Ty Turner got arrested, and people are questioning why this arrest had to take place. Now, he was actually passing out leaflets and putting them on cars, talking about voter rights and, what you should do as a voter. And some cops saw it, and apparently they wanted to stop him for it. And here's what happened as a result.
I asked the officer.
I need to see your ID.
Hey, ma'am.
I need to see your ID.
Ma'am, could you please be a witness to this, ma'am?
I need to see your ID.
I asked him, sir, can I see the city ordinance? Hold on. You don't grab my phone.
I need to see
Don't grab my phone. Do not grab my phone. I can have my phone. It's on a selfie, and I'm right here. Ma'am, if you could say right.
He's looking up.
He's looking. I don't got to put the phone down. Sir, I don't have to put the phone down. Hey, brothers! No, hold up. I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question. I can ask a question. Why you asking me a guy? Brother! Why you asking a question? Get off of me! I asked a question! Get off of me! I asked a question! I can ask a question! All I want to! I'm asking a question! I can ask a question! I can ask, get off of me! I can ask a question! I can ask a question. I don't gotta put my phone down. Why am I resisting? I'm not putting my phone down. I'm not putting my phone down. I asked a question. I asked the officer a question. Now I asked a question. I asked her, why are you putting me in cuffs?
You're being arrested.
I can keep my phone.
I need you to relax.
I can keep my phone on myself.
Okay, so people feel like that was an unlawful arrest, but I'm curious to see what you thought, because as I read the story, I thought one thing. When I saw the video, I kind of became a little torn.
So people are saying, look, you shouldn't arrest them for putting out voting rights literature. Of course you shouldn't arrest them for that. There's no question about that, right? And now, did they approach him because of maybe racial assumptions? He's around people's cars, and should they have looked at, hey, what is he passing out? And, oh, it's okay, it's voting rights stuff, right? I would have loved that. That would have been much, much better. They claim that he's not allowed to put literature, any kind of literature, on a car, but they have nothing to back that up.
Well, North Carolina does have a law. It prohibits a local ordinance, I should be clear. So it's not a statewide thing. It's a local ordinance that says that they've prohibited leaving those types of leaflets on cars.
Okay, so if there's a local ordinance, then that makes a big difference. So that's might be the main reason that they approached him. To me, the beginning of the video is critical. He starts screaming later. And look, I think he's taking his life into his hands there.
Yeah, that was a really dangerous way to respond, considering how cops react to that kind of behavior.
Right, and I'm not saying that the cops should react over the top. And yeah, you got a right to be mad when they're arresting you when they shouldn't, right? I mean, at most, you give a fine if he's violating a local ordinance. You don't have to handcuff the guy, right? And would they have really handcuffed him if he was, let's say, a local white pastor? A pastor and white. So I'm changing the situation considerably.
Yeah, leaving literature on cars about voting rights.
Or about Jesus.
Right.
Right? They're not going to arrest that guy. So context matters, right? I got scared for him when he started screaming, and I can see how the cops would be like, I got to put an end to this, right? But I need to see the beginning of the video again to see, like, when the cops approach him, has he already started screaming or not? Do you see what I'm saying? Before they go to handcuff him.
I've watched the video several times. That's not the sense I got. The sense that I got is they wanted to see ID, right? And he wanted to ask, he asked them, like, why are you stopping me? And the cops, I don't know why cops don't do this. Just tell them why you are stopping them. Tell them why you want to see the ID. If you have nothing to hide and this is, justified, then just tell them. So
I know they view that as like the biggest affront. Like
it's so stupid, though.
Cops think you must follow my orders 1,000%. I don't have to give you a reason. I don't have to give you a badge. I don't have to give you anything. I don't have to give you your rights. Okay, but cops, you serve us. You do have to give us our rights.
Yep.
You do have to tell us why you're stopping us. But if you dare ask a cop, they will immediately go to handcuff you. It's maddening. That's why I agree with him on his complete frustration as they're going to handcuff him. But let's watch the beginning of the video again.
I asked the officer.
I need to see your ID.
Hey, ma'am.
I need to see your ID.
Ma'am, could you please be a witness to this, ma'am?
I need to see your
I
ID.
asked him, sir, can I see the city ordinance? Hold on. You don't grab my phone.
I need to see
Don't grab my phone. Do not grab my phone. I can have my phone. It's on a selfie, and I'm right here. Ma'am, if you could say right.
You need to put the phone down.
He's looking. I don't got to put the phone down. Sir, I don't have to put the phone down. Hey, brothers! No, hold up. I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question. I can ask a question. Why are you asking me a guy?
So he doesn't start yelling, I'm asking a question, until they physically grab him.
Right.
Okay, so no, I think the cops are in the wrong. Like I wish he hadn't started, yelling that aggressively. But that's post them making contact with him. Here's how. Let's say he's getting a parking ticket, which is the equivalent of the local ordinance here, right? Cop can't come and take your phone when he's giving you a parking ticket, right? And he can't, and then say, well, you didn't give me your phone, or you're not agreeing to put your hands behind your back, so that's it, you're resisting arrest.
Yeah.
So, no, they're wrong. The cops are wrong in this case.
So there were other parts of this story that I should mention to you guys. So after that happened, the cops put him behind a patrol car, and then they drove away. And the protesters were upset about it. They're like, why did he get arrested? He wasn't doing anything wrong. So they tried to find where he went. Later on, it turns out that according to Ty Turner's account, they took him to 3 separate places before finally taking him to jail, right? And by the time he had gotten to the jail, the protesters were already there wondering where he was. And the authorities there told the protesters, hey, you know what, we're not going to detain him. We are going to let him off with a citation. And so he did get let off with a citation, but that's how it should have happened from the very beginning. If he was doing something that went against a local ordinance, they should have given him the citation and they should have moved forward. But the reason why it got so heated is because he asked a question and they refused to answer that question. If a cop comes up to me out of nowhere and tells me, I need to see ID, I want to know why they want to see my ID. I think that that's a totally legitimate response to that kind of action.
That's why I was arrested once, because I asked the cop for ID because he had arrested one of my friends and he was undercover, so he was not wearing a uniform or anything. He threw him inside the store, and I said, well, wait a minute, I got to at least know you're cops. They're like, that's it, resisting arrest, you're under arrest. Now, that was a false arrest. It got expunged from my record. The prosecutor totally agreed with me, but that's their immediate reaction. If you ask them for, hey, why am I being stopped, or who are you? They're like, that's it, you're under arrest and you're resisting arrest. So, and you got to understand, in Charlotte, Mecklenburg, it's not just theoretical that you got to watch out for what cops do. There was a 24-year-old former college football player, that story we covered on the show before, Jonathan Farrell. He'd been involved in a car accident. He asked for the cops to come. The cops come, they see a black guy, and they shoot him and they kill him.
Yeah, they shot him 10 times.
They shot him 10 times.
Yeah.
So this guy's screaming. I'm like, oh my God. So the state of where we are today, and you know the cops are wrong because they're driving them around. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And in the end, they don't even process them.
Right.
Because they know that we're going to get in bigger trouble because we shouldn't have arrested them in the first place. Believe me, if there was a legitimate reason for an arrest, they would have processed them and said, it's all his fault. You see that? It's not us, it's him, right? They let him off with a citation because they're wrong, right? So, but in the end, as I look at this, in today's America, I'm so relieved that he didn't get tasered, he didn't get shot, he's alive, and then they let him go. So it's almost a good news story. That's how bad things have gotten.